Hello and welcome to Business Exposed, the podcast which discusses the unfiltered truth and runnings of a business day to day. This week on the podcast we have Retief, the founder of Rugged Biometrics. Hof's business designs, develops and manufactures biometric hardware systems. As always, like and subscribe on whatever platform you're listening on and share with as many people as possible that you feel would benefit from the podcast. As always, sit back, relax and enjoy. So Hof, take us a wee bit back to the younger you, right? Your upbringing, schooling, everything up to kind of where you are just now before the business head came on, so to speak.
Yeah, sure. I was born in Namibia. Used to be part of South Africa back then. So finished schooling in Namibia, and because I was technically born in South Africa, I could get a South African passport and ID card. So I could go study in a South African university. As universities in South Africa back then was a little bit more, internationally accredited than from Namibia, as we're a small country.
Okay.
So I started computer engineering and then ended in a degree in IT and project management, as the math in year 3 and 4 and me didn't always see eye to eye.
Yeah.
So
Jean told us about that in her podcast, actually.
So my math, second year engineering math and me saw eye to eye, but then from the third year when they started going to the abstract, I didn't, wasn't my cup of tea. Then straight out of university, I started a IT company. We built servers for rendering. So for AutoCAD and industrial and engineering renders.
Okay.
And that moved into a gaming company where we started building gaming machines because
Right.
it's so similar.
Okay.
So that went very well up to 2008 with the economic crash. And then from 2008, nobody started buying servers anymore.
Okay.
Because everyone just no one upgraded to the newest version. As there was no money.
Okay.
So we struggled through that in 2008. Then I met Jean, and I have been together for a while. And we started getting more serious. And it's like, well, a man probably needs to look after his wife, not just have hopes and dreams for her. So I need a real job. Like I can't, the supporting myself is not currently working out.
Mm-hmm.
So after being your own boss for a couple of years and then starting to go listen to somebody else was a bit of a challenge.
Yep.
And I joined a software company that did registrations. So we captured people's data, managed the data, and then also made the data usable back into the world again.
Okay.
So we were pretty successful. I started as a business analyst and then ended as the COO, Chief of Operations for the company.
Wow.
And we did about 1 billion people globally, data we captured. And this automatically fell. Then we got married in between. Back then, I was still traveling a lot, 12 to 14 trips a year. So at least every 3 weeks I was away. And she was traveling a lot. So that was I think that's where we learned. I listened to her podcast in where you have to schedule your time.
Yeah.
And you have to not only schedule your business time, but you also have to schedule your personal time.
Definitely.
Very romantic to schedule in Friday night, date night, Sunday afternoon is not for calling, Monday morning is back to the office.
Yeah.
There we started in hardware, biometric hardware, capturing people's irises, fingerprints, voice, behavioral biometrics. And then I kind of ran my course there, and it wasn't a big company. And they were focused on the software side, and I always like to build things that I can touch and feel.
Mm-hmm.
So there we started building hardware. Then I bought out the hardware side from the software company.
Okay.
And then we started our Biorugged, me and just 2 guys in China originally, building biometric hardware. And that's where we are today.
Well, there's a lot to unpack in that 5-minute period there. So go back to, you said you've left the university and started the company. Where was your mind at that point in time to think, I'm going to start my own company? Because a lot of people would have probably falling into more the traditional, I'll start working for a company, then I'll kind of get the experience and learn everything, then start my own company. So that must have been quite a gamble or a risk at that point in time, or did you not see it as that
Never
way?
thought about it that way. You know, I have this disease called I always know better. So
Would Gene agree with that?
yeah, and if I always know better, everyone that means everyone else is wrong. So I know what to do, and I
Yeah.
know how to make it successful, and we go from there.
Yeah.
It actually came from my. I didn't do a race in my studies. I did more of a marathon.
Okay.
And in the final year, my mother told me, "It's like, listen, either you're gonna come home this year, or you need a job by Jan to look after yourself. From now on, I'll pay for your studies, but accommodation, medical, food, drinks is on you."
It's on you.
So I walked around, and the first shop. I've always been good with computers.
Okay.
So the first shop I walked into was a computer shop. So I asked them, I was like, "Hey, I can fix PCs. Do you need a technician?" And they're like, "Yeah, we do. Can you start this afternoon?"
Wow.
So I worked there for my final year of doing my honors degree.
Okay.
I worked there as a technician, started as a technician. End of the year, I ended as their sales. So we were 3 guys when we started, and in a year we were 10.
Wow.
And I was the chief of sales, and then I had my sales crew. And we did expos and exhibitions, and I did the marketing, the radio advertising, online advertising, and then selling of PCs. And then when I was finished studying, it was just like, okay, cool, like chief of sales and the 2 owners, nothing else to do.
Yeah.
So
You've already reached the pinnacle
yeah,
of that career at that point in time by the sounds of things.
and
And
they
you've
were
not even got started yet.
yeah, and they were focused on offices and big IT infrastructure on buildings.
Okay.
And I always liked the gaming rendering side of it more. So it was just I already had all the contacts from the suppliers based on them. So then I just started my own thing.
Yeah. More like a natural progression for you.
Yeah, and it's a cash business, so you don't need a lot of startup capital.
Yeah.
I needed about, in today's money, £2,500 for the websites and the original, some small stock in the office.
Okay.
And I ran it out of my flat.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was, as you said, the location we are in now. Sometimes it's a bit strange. A guy comes to pick up a £2,000 gaming PC, and he stops there by my flat, and I just like, "Hey, man,
Yeah.
here's your box."
Exactly. They don't see. I mean, that's what we said just obviously before we were recording. There is a lot of people only see the successful bit with their eyes, but they don't see a lot of the hard work and the tough times that are going on right behind the background there.
I have to tell you, the first thing I learned there was you can have an amazing website, right? You can have amazing advertising. Doesn't mean you'll have sales.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean, and face-to-face in sales are still very important. You have to see the people. They have to they buy from you. They don't buy from your company.
Yeah.
We're not Apple. Nobody cares if your logo is on it. Nobody cares if these days, if there's an Apple logo on the phone, people care.
Yeah.
But your logo means nothing. Your website means nothing.
Yeah.
People buy from you.
Yeah. No, I would definitely totally agree. And you can see that shift kind of now. I think people are starting to realise that when you are looking at the social media, the channels, especially, there's more, CEOs and CEOs now of companies that you are seeing their face and their name now over these channels, as where previously you would have maybe only heard of the brand, where I think a lot of these global companies now are realising the importance of the personal brand, even if you are a large organisation.
How do you do that? How do you make Microsoft a home brand and not a corporate brand?
Yeah.
And look at the case in point, their phones, they all failed. They could never launch it.
Yeah.
Because nobody cares that it's Microsoft. They wanted Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Look at the Tesla sales these days. If you don't like Elon Musk, you don't buy a Tesla.
Yeah.
They used to love him, and they bought Teslas.
That's so true. Going back a wee bit, when you've then had your company and then you said you went to work for a company, I suppose the question is, how did that feel? You've used to being your own boss and running the organisation. and then you've then became, although it was a senior role, an employee. Was there a kind of, how was the transition for you? Was it difficult in any way, or?
My advantage was the two owners of the company I went to work for was very nice guys. And they really had a passion for on the technology side, into generate and create new. And I really like that. And they asked me the same question, like, you were your own boss for many years. How would you fit in with us? You'll have to listen to us. And it was quite a junior position in business analyst in writing of manuals and analyzing systems and then generating new ideas of it. And I remember clearly what I told them. It was like, is it my responsibility to pay for the electricity of this place? And they said, no. Like, is it my responsibility to refill the coffee machine or make sure there's coffee? And they said, no. Like, is it my responsibility to pay salaries or make sure this place is clean? And they said, no. And then I think we're going to get along swimmingly.
Yeah. That's a very, very good analogy, because I think just now we're in a world where a lot of people want to be their own boss, but they're not realising that they carry all that responsibility.
No, people want to be a boss.
Yeah.
There's a difference between wanting to be a boss and being a leader in a company.
Yeah, that's so true. I think
Because
that's,
you lead and people follow. As soon as you micromanage and you tell people what to do, you have churn. People will leave.
It's very true. I think we're seeing that in a lot of organisations just now. That, going back to the personal brand, is where is that there's maybe some leaders not putting themselves out there in the personal brand, and there's people not following, and potential reason why people do want to then go and work for themselves. I mean, you can work for yourself on a very small scale and have a very successful business. You know, it doesn't need to be a massive, big business. We had somebody on recently who has a cleaning business and is a small operation, but very, very successful business. But again, she's the face of the business.
Yes, and then you run into the key man wall.
Yeah.
Where you have a key man in the company, one or two key men. Or ladies. And then what do you do if these guys want to transition out, or they're on holiday, or they're not available?
Yeah.
We have the same problem in my company. We have two key men. And if they're not available, people don't want to talk to us.
Shows you the importance of having the right people in the right positions for your company.
Yeah, well, then where do you find the guys that you can elevate into key man roles?
Yeah.
It takes time. It takes years of investment in this person, and you have to trust them to stay with you. And you have to trust them to make their own decisions within the box of your guidance. So you need a rebel, you need a cowboy that's willing to live inside the parameters of the company. All of us together building the same clock, only building this clock, not each one building its own clock, learning under you, and then sticking around and not do what I did as soon as I learned everything and felt like I've hit a ceiling, just move on to bigger and better. Where do you find people like that?
Yeah.
It's complicated.
Yeah, I suppose that last part you said there's quite important, because how do you retain somebody if you've took them to almost the pinnacle of their career within your organisation and you want to retain them? Then I suppose that is quite a difficult one to manage.
Very. In our company, luckily, no one has ever resigned.
Okay.
People have been fired or asked to move along. But nobody has ever resigned. And to build that family culture in your company where we all work together for the same goal. We all share when it's going well. We all suffer when it's going bad. And then the whole team feels like we are achieving something. We are seeing the results. We are experiencing the joys when it goes well, and we are suffering when it goes bad.
Yeah.
That helps. But now again, we're small, right? Well, medium-sized enterprise. How do you transition that homegrown family culture into corporate? I don't know. It's a thing we discuss quite often internally.
Yeah, I was reading something recently, and they were saying similar that as you start to grow the business. Again, this isn't the answer to the question, by the way, because if you don't know, I certainly don't know. But they were saying that when you start a small organisation and enterprise, even the best employees that you have at that point in time, they're not the ones who are going to take you to a medium-sized enterprise. And then even when you've got all your best people in there with their skills and knowledge, they're still not the same people who are going to take you to the larger organisations, because at each point in time they've all got different sets of skills, size of paychecks on demand, but
Money is also complicated. You pay a guy enough and then he's not hungry anymore.
yeah.
So you always have to keep your salary expectations in line of what you can provide, what's your value.
Mm-hmm.
Put a figure, my wife and I speak about it quite often. What's your value? What's your hourly rate?
Mm.
Everyone needs an hourly rate. Even I have my own internal hourly rate.
Mm-hmm.
When to say no to work and when to say yes, because this work has no future benefit for me. This work has no future financial relationship benefit for me as an individual. And how do you keep the guys where they are paid what they're worth? They believe they have the same worth as what you are paying them.
Mm-hmm.
And then let them create the opportunity for them to grow into a better position, as they can then create that value back into the company.
Mm-hmm.
But not overpay them so they become complacent.
Yeah, complacent. Yeah.
It's always this, everything has a sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you do in life has a sacrifice. There's a positive and a sacrificial side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I spend time with my family, I'm not making money.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not making money, I can't take them on holiday. If I take them on holiday, I can't spend more time with them.
Yeah.
So everything has got a positive and a negative you do in life.
Yeah.
And to create that corporate culture in your company where the people feel if they go into the positive, they are willing to sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
The sacrifice has to be accepted.
Yeah.
And then to let them grow into a position and then to maintain them. So that means there always has to be a cherry in the front that they are chasing. So they keep being hungry.
Mm-hmm. I think that goes back to what you said about the team feeling the sense of achievement, because, again, it's only my opinion, but I think you could pay somebody the highest possible salary, but if they're not within that correct culture and feeling the sense of fulfillment and achievement, then the money doesn't override that. Whereas if they were paid in relation to what they were doing, like you were saying, and not almost overpaid, but they're working within that culture and they feel that we're all part of a team going the same direction and feel a sense of achievement, then for a lot of people that I speak to, that's what they feel they want to be part of as an employee.
Yeah, but that's a mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone has got that mentality.
Yeah.
Not everyone has got the mentality of where they can take in data, process that data, and then create wisdom and knowledge out of that data into growing the company.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can there's many employees you give data to, you pay them a good salary, you give them good opportunities, and they sit on the data.
Mm-hmm.
They don't take this data through its natural progression of steps to improve themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They believe they are good. They believe they should be here.
Mm-hmm.
They expect the good salary.
Mm-hmm.
And these are always the first guys that ask for higher raises. Those are the first guys that ask for more leave time.
Yeah.
It's the first guys that you want to send to a client and they're like, but it's my aunt's birthday. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like, this is a month in advance. See her before we go.
Yeah.
I'm not being rude in saying you have to miss your aunt's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying in some certain circumstances, the team needs this.
Mm-hmm.
Once a year, once every 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to make this sacrifice for you to grow.
Yeah.
For the next 6 months, I'll give you a month of holiday in August.
Mm-hmm.
If you can bring home this deal.
Yeah. I think that's a very good way to look at it. Is what you've said. There is a two-way street. Whereas some employers are seeing that as a one-way street, but
Yes.
it's not. It's a two-way street. In the day, if somebody goes to an interview I think a lot of the time people think that it's the employer is interviewing the employee, but it's also an opportunity for the employee to make sure, is this the correct employer for me? Is this the company that I want to invest my sacrifice, as you said, with my time with my family? Is this the right one for me? But I think as long as you said you've got it there, the two-way street, then it's creating that relationship and we're all going the same direction.
It's a tit for tat system. I always tell my guys it's a tit for tat system. It's like they go off, my kid needs to go to the doctor on Friday afternoon. I'm like, for sure, but I need this on Monday morning. So you can have the Friday afternoon, you don't have to sign anything. Of course, take your kid to the doctor, get me this by Monday. Or I want to take, our leave has to be scheduled more than a month in advance, unless it's an emergency, right? Because you have to have handovers and you have to make sure. So when you're on leave, we don't bother you. Everything is covered. It's like, sure, like you can go, give me if I want to go and leave on Monday, just because I feel exhausted. It's like, okay, but then you're on call for August. Like it's a tit for tat. I give you this, you give me something in return.
Yeah.
It's not always a money thing. It's not always a promotion thing. It's also make my life easy and I make your life easy.
Yeah. That's definitely, I think that's a good way to look at it. And as well for the employee, if you're saying that the more you work with me, the more I'll get you in return, you just hit the nail on the head there. It's something I think is very important. You says when you're on your holiday, I'll not bother you. You do a handover, I've got the correct information, I don't need to bother you, which I think is very important because I don't think that happens within a lot of organisations, and you see it a lot now, especially with technology. Everybody were more accessible to each other. As in employees, employers are more accessible to each other through, you know, something simple as a telephone. So I think you're right. If it's a tit for tat system, then you're right. You give this to me in return, go and enjoy your time with your family.
Yeah, but you need the right mentality people for that.
Yeah.
It's so hard to find the people these days that is open to this bi-directional street, that is open to learn, that is open to grow. You know, that's not just a cock in the machine. I'm just sitting here ticking along. Like if you just want to sit there and do what you do for the rest of your life, excellent. I'm not judging you. Just go do that for somebody else.
Yeah.
Like we have to expand our horizons. We have to expand our lives. And this is, my wife and I speak about it a lot in the sense of you have to continually grow. And if you grow in the wrong direction, realize you're growing and change.
Yeah.
It's penciled in.
Yeah.
You have to continually grow in your personal relationship, your friendship relationship, your business relationship. Because clients and spouses see this. They see you becoming stagnant. I get feedback from clients when I send the guys out. They're like, I don't want this guy again. Don't send them again. We were in a meeting and he was ordering an Uber. He wasn't listening to me. I didn't like it off. And then you have to ask these guys after this happened a couple of times, like, thank you, but your contract is not being renewed. And then they're always like, why? And then you can't go like, buddy, you're useless. You have to be nice. You have to tell them, like, listen, we feel you've reached the end of the thing here. We don't see a future with us. And they're like, yeah, but I did this, I did this, I did this. I'm like, this is exactly why we're letting you know. Go. You're telling me everything you did, but there's no results. There's no proof of what you did. You didn't accept the sacrifices or you didn't want to do it. You only wanted the positive. You only wanted the shine. You only wanted the limelight.
Yeah.
You didn't go back and do the grind. You know the little picture of the duck sitting all tranquil on the lake and the little feet at the bottom is kicking like crazy.
Yes.
People just want to see the duck. They don't want to do the feet.
Yeah. I suppose it's going back to what we spoke about before the cameras were rolling about the social media and the instant gratification. And I think that mentality is getting worse because people think there is, and that's a very good analogy of the duck, because people think through social media channels that everything is get rich quick. You don't need to do a lot of, you don't need to do a lot of work now to make a lot of money. But as you said, that's just the highlight reel. It's not showing you the kicking underneath the water and the hell that all the business owners go through to get to that result. Whereas I think that mentality people is there's a divide because people are thinking there's an easy route. As you said, there is no easy route, even at your level.
Yeah, but it's like if you start a company, we were actually speaking about it this morning. When you start a company, you always, the first thing you have to think about is, what do I want?
Mm-hmm.
Not what do I think I want.
Mm.
What do I want? Always want what you have, then you will never want what you don't have.
Mm-hmm.
Want what you have. So what do I want in business? Am I doing this for money, prestige, shine, to achieve something, to build something, to make people happy, to help people? There's endless possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I start a company? And then when I was young, I said it's because I knew better.
Mm-hmm.
And if I know better, I'm going to make money. And if I have money, I can buy a car. And if I have a car, I can buy a house. Now I have the house and I have the car. And I have the wife and I have the family. Then I realized a couple of months ago, I want nothing. And it's a strange place to be in.
Yeah.
My cars are old, 6, 7 years old. But I don't want a new one.
Mm-hmm.
I just had to buy a new TV because I was lazy and I didn't close my patio TV. So birds over the winter came to have a party in it. So I moved my living room TV outside and I got a new one for inside. Now I can buy any size one, 100 inch, 80 inch, 70 inch. And I was sitting one night thinking, it's like, have I ever looked at my TV, watching a movie or spending family time, I'm like, oh, I wish I had a bigger one. It's 55 inch, it's fine.
Yeah.
My wife said it's big enough. It's just fine. She's happy.
That's almost as good as the Dr. Pepper joke before the recording.
And I was looking at it, and I was like, do I want a bigger one? Have I ever sat here and it's like, I want a bigger one? It's like, no. Just buy a good one the same size.
Yeah. I think that goes back to as well that when you're in a position that you don't need to prove to anybody, then then you're fine. I think that you've got so much inner peace that I think the moment that you realise I'm not doing this to prove to anybody else, so that when somebody comes round and goes, God, look at the size of the telly, or look at the car in the driveway, because a lot of people think the definition of success is what you can see with the eyes. But you can go out in the street just now, right, and within 5 minutes, how many Range Rovers are you going to drive by? How many flash cars are you going to drive by? Cars at excess of 100 to nearly £200,000. You're going to see plenty of them on the road today. But there is no way the majority of those people are in the same position that you're in. They're doing it and financially really exposing themselves to look to the outside world and perceive something that their life probably financially isn't. But if you're in that position, you say, I don't really care what I drive, I don't really care the size of the daily, then you've got so much peace, because you're doing it for the right reason and not for the wrong reason, just to prove to the world. To prove to the world what?
I was 35 when I paid off my last debt 8 years ago. My house. I paid off my house 8 years ago.
Wow.
And since then, I don't even own a credit card. I've never made debt. If I can't afford it cash, I can't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes you going to sleep at night knowing it doesn't matter what happened. No one is going to come here and take my things. All my things I have are mine.
Yeah.
Nobody, I think today's day and age, very few people experience that sense of calm.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good position to be in now, but going back to the early days when you started the company, so let's talk a wee bit about Biorugged. When you started that company, I suppose, how did you start it financially? Because it's a global company, so how have you taken it to such a large organisation?
Quite honestly, by talking a lot of bullshit. Like, first of all, you have to get people to believe in you. And then I had some small savings saved up. Back then I had a credit card, and the first expo was done on debt. And from there, it took a lot of me with my backpack, or I always say a vacuum salesman knocking on doors.
Yeah.
This little leather trolley full of brochures and flyers.
Yeah.
and we went to expos, and I waited the 2 or 3 hours sitting there like a idiot outside of the big French and German companies, waiting to see a low-level sales guy and showing and showing and showing. And I was in the fortunate position that my wife was working, so she could support a little bit. And we were very frugal back then. I didn't have a car. We only had one car, and we bought a small house. Like, I think we paid 40K
Right.
for it, so the payments were small. So my living expenses was very little. And then in all business, you need luck. And I met the right people, and we were talking and talking, and they paid me a deposit. It was nice, a £1 million range deposit.
Wow.
For the first project. And this project financed a large part of the future. And then back then we were 3 people in the company, 2 in China and me. And then from there we systematically, most of the time it was under severe home pressure when we grew. It's like hire an assistant or find a new place to live. Like, okay, fair enough, I'll hire an assistant. It's like, hire more salespeople, or we going on holiday and you staying home because all you do is work all the time in any case. It's like, fair enough, I'll hire more salespeople. I had a very strong support system at home.
Yeah.
That because when you're in the rat race, when you're spinning in your wheel, you don't always see, you see your own achievements, and you see the more money coming in, and you see the growth in the company. You don't always see the sacrifice you're doing at home. You don't always see the people around you missing you, and you just feeling like, I'm looking after you, I'm taking care of you.
Yeah.
We have a bigger house, we have a bigger car, but you don't see the emotional connections that you are losing.
Yeah.
Because your brain is not focused on that. You're not focusing on what's important in life.
Yeah.
And then to have somebody at home to remind you, hey, buddy,
Yeah.
we want you for dinner.
Yeah.
And because I don't listen, in fact, now I try to listen more.
I was going to say, how did that conversation go? Because
Now I try to listen more. I'm calming down a lot in my old age. Back then it was, I've always told her I'm a dog. Men are dogs. You beat us with a newspaper and then you give us a treat. That's how we work. That's how we listen. Well, that's how I listen.
Yeah.
So she got out the newspaper and smacked me with it. And then I got a treat afterwards.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. I have to continue doing this. I get treats.
Well, I mean, has there ever been any, like, in all seriousness, any, any moments in the relationship where, I don't know, Jeans went, right, enough's enough here because you're never at home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not so much the being home, it's being home.
Being present
It's
in
where
the room.
all of me is home. Where I don't bring work home. Where I don't sit there and just sit.
Yeah.
She's always like, you're a thunder cloud. I'm too, what do you call it, cloud?
Yeah.
I'm too scared to say anything. I'm scared to zap me.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, that's what I mean.
Prime example.
Prime example.
Yeah. The thing is, as you said a minute ago, in the early days though, it's almost near enough impossible to not be like that, because as you said, back to the early days when everything is financially, it's either hire an assistant or get a new house, it's hire the assistant. Then when you are doing multiple roles, it's almost hard to not switch off when you go home if you are doing multiple.
That's what we said, running your family as a business. It's very easy to fall into the trap where there are a slot in your calendar. And I speak to people, clients a certain way, I speak to suppliers a certain way, I speak to my people a certain way to make them grow. And then you get home and you speak to them in the same tone of voice. Listen to me. Listen to Hof. Hof tells you what to do. Hof knows better. And it came to a point where she's like, remember, I'm not your employee.
Yeah.
I'm your wife. But to start a company is the first thing you need to know why you're doing it. You have to understand what's my goal, what's my purpose, and to create your own internal business plan in what's my plan now to achieve it. And then to listen and get people in that's been doing it. And going to talk to them and have beers and have coffees and
Mm-hmm.
guys that's already been successful.
Yeah.
None of us are, well, very few of us inventing new mousetraps. We're just improving a
Yeah.
mousetrap. And to be kind to people. Like you said, the cleaning lady.
Mm-hmm.
People like cleaning.
Mm.
Many people like cleaning. They like
Mhm.
something dirty, not pressure wash. It's clean.
Yeah.
I like doing it. To go the extra mile.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they paid for the driveway to do the front porch as well.
Yeah.
Because they'll come back to you.
Mm-hmm.
You are not a corporate. You are not there for the money. You do it because you like doing it.
Yeah.
And they'll invite you back and invite you back. Because that's what they do. They invite you back into their wallet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You
definitely.
you have no right to be in their wallet.
Mm-hmm.
They invite you in.
Mm-hmm.
And money is always a problem. Money is always tight. So to create a budget, a paper budget,
Mm-hmm.
not a mental budget, to stick to it, to have the little envelopes for electricity, fuel, cleaning materials, and to stick to it.
Yeah.
And to have a goal, and then how to achieve my goal. Listen to other people.
Mm-hmm.
We have beautiful access now to ChatGPT and Grok and not Gemini. Gemini needs to grow up. Yeah, I have endless issues with it. Listen to these resources
Mm-hmm.
and then try.
Yeah.
Nothing magical has ever been achieved by keeping balance in life.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go out of balance.
Yeah.
You have to have the big wheel spinning because your flywheel needs to spin before it starts going by itself.
When you started Biorugged, on one of your points there, that where did you see a gap in the market? Because presumably somebody was doing something similar, I would imagine, at the point in
Corruption.
time. So where did you see
Corruption.
corruption?
Yes.
On whose part?
Have you ever done a government project that was not corrupt? I haven't. I
Okay.
haven't. Every government project globally I've been involved in was corrupt. I know, I sit in the back end. So I saw a gap where we had to build a bridge between manufacturing. So a lot of our technology comes from the US and Korea. The Chinese and the Chinese industry, that's why what Tim Cook said about Apple, it's like, it's not because it's cheaper to assemble and manufacture in China. It's actually more expensive. It's because they have the resources. I can get foam, steel, wires, copper, platinum, whatever I need. I go down the street and there's somebody doing it, making it for me. The industry of manufacturing is so mature. So, and there's a gap between the Chinese and the Western world. So they needed a Western face with Western engineers, but to get it to the cost point and the speed needed to get it in the field on a quality level controlled by independent verification. So there was a gap in this, in getting Chinese manufactured goods using Western technology with Western engineers with independent verification of quality into the market on speed. Nobody was doing it.
Okay.
Well, there was one other company, by chance also a South African, that was also doing it.
Okay.
And then I've got a very aversion to losing due to unfair business practices, corruption. If I want to lose, I want to lose fairly. So we decided it's impossible to get into any government business globally. I'm saying this, I have not been involved in a government tender in Europe, South America, North America, Polynesia, Asia, or Africa, where there wasn't some form of handshake. And we did not want to be involved in that. So we stepped one step back, where we are only a manufacturer. We have our own factory with our own internal OEM and R&D. We make everything ourselves except the Western technology we have to force to put in. And we step back. And now we're a wholesaler reselling to the guys that needs to do what needs to be done to get the deals done.
Okay.
So, and we wanted to step out of the area of bullshit where what government tenders is involved. And there was a gap in somebody where there's no kickbacks to the suppliers. Kickbacks run from government to back to the suppliers, to manufacturers. And we wanted to create a clean business that you can trust. If we say A, we deliver A. If we can't deliver A, we pay till A is delivered.
Yep.
And if something goes wrong, I fly, or my guys fly, and we fly into country and we go fix it. Back to the cleaning thing, where if there's something else to do it. They'll invite you back next time.
Yeah.
And I wanted to create a clean business where people can trust us and they like us, where it's in a agile company. We use a nice waterfall project management approach, and we bring in agility to move with the market. Our competition are big companies in the 8 to 10 billion a year range. So we're a gnat on the back of them.
Yeah.
And over the years, we got 8 of the big 10 are now buying from us.
Wow.
They killed their hardware divisions, and now they outsource everything to us.
Wow.
As we are clean, we do what we say. They never have any issues. There's no handshakes to be made. We just deliver. So I saw that gap in the market where the bureaucracy of the nonsense of global supply and demand.
Yeah. I can 100%. I don't even know how to answer that actually, because that's not the answer that I thought I was going to get. However, I can 100% believe what you've just said there. And I think there's a lot of people who are sitting back, again, back to that naive audience, who don't see that kind of thing goes on, and they think it's almost a made up type thing that doesn't happen. But you've just literally said yourself, you've not been involved in any government that you've not seen any corruption.
No.
So am I right in saying that some of your clients are some government agencies?
We don't sell directly to government at all. We
Okay.
stay away from it. We have middlemen.
Okay.
Great companies. I'm not saying anything bad about any of them. We have great companies we work with. A lot of them are very reputable and very clean. And these are the guys we prefer dealing with.
Okay.
So we manufacture. We have the engineers. Well, between me and our engineering team, we design, we manufacture. We sell to global distributors. And then from there, it gets distributed into the market.
Okay.
Through local partners and local, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So for anybody that's listening who has like a business idea, I think a lot of people have great ideas, but there's so many moving parts to even what you've just said. There's the manufacture, the distribution. I mean, how did you find contacts that are worldwide to scale this business?
We're quite a complicated company in the sense it takes 18 to 24 months to learn what we do. In the guys that join us, that work for us.
Okay.
So when I was still in the software company, clients started asking us for hardware. And then I flew to China, and I actually met one lady that was doing cell phone covers.
Okay.
And then she did research for me, and she and I went to hardware factories and started talking to them. And started learning and from there it built from where we bought and resold to we have it's about 11,000 square meter factory of ourselves, our own one now.
Wow.
So it grew step by step as you buy, sell.
Yeah.
Every month we saved, as in any business or in any household, every month you have to save a percentage, not fixed, depending on what you can afford. And you have to use this money for reinvestment. Better tools, more equipment, more people, bigger space. So we started off hiring a warehouse. From a warehouse, it went to limited to manufacturing. We have 6 lines now, and we can scale up to 300 people manufacturing assembly at a time.
Wow.
We don't keep them on staff. They come and they go.
Yeah.
But yeah. So any business is use AI. I want to start Sorry for being a dead horse in the cleaning business.
Yeah.
I want to start doing pressure washing people's homes. Go on ChatGPT. Go find pressure washers or pressure washing companies in my area. See who they are. See who are their clientele. Go on their reviews, whose business is brutal. See who are leaving reviews on their website.
Yeah.
Contact those people on the reviews. Ask them if you can come do it for free. Ask them if you can come do a demo.
There's definitely no better time to be alive than, if that's something that you want to do, because you said earlier on, back to the resource, there's so much resource. I mean, I'm 34 and I'm of a generation which is just moving, it's kind of, that's, AI's, it's not always been around obviously when I was young, but I'm of an age where I'm seeing it in everything that we do. But when I start thinking, I was having a conversation with somebody the other day and I says, she's going back 20 years ago. Being in business must have been really tough because you wouldn't have had the resource at your fingertips. If there's
20 years ago, that's me.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, technology's evolving at such a rate that 20 years ago, seems like a long time in the world of technology. But it is. If there's anything I want to know, any in the room want to know right now, I just need to put it into this device and I'm going to get the answer. But back then, business must have been difficult because it would have took you a long, long time to get answers. I mean, the world that I'm in, you're dealing with, a lot of construction, legal professionals, solicitors. A lot of the time, you'd have had to have maybe reached out to a solicitor, a lawyer, somebody like that. Whereas you can find the answer pretty much here. The only thing you need to do is just check. Is it?
Ask.
Is it
you don't
just
even
check?
have, you can just ask.
Yeah,
you click a button
exactly.
like, hey.
Is it the correct information? So there's probably no better time being alive than somebody wants to do something with himself.
That can take you up to a point, right, for your original research. See what your budget, see what your financial means. See what your wants, see what your goals. See what you can find out from AI in your current profession. Then do you watch Clarkson's Farm?
No, I've heard a lot about it. I'll give me that face means I need to watch it then.
You brought me to a guy that doesn't watch Clarkson's Farm. So disappointed.
Is that you getting up and leaving now, dropping the mic?
Watch it.
I'll send you a picture of my television tonight. Proof.
In Clarkson's, well, the rest of the world watches Clarkson's Farm.
Okay,
right?
I'm the only guy in the world here.
They'll know the reference. In Clarkson's Farm, there's a guy called, I forgot his name.
You sure you've watched it?
Yes. Names and I. The guy that helps him on the farm. Not Caleb, the old guy that always gives the bad news.
Oh,
Charlie.
Right.
Find a Charlie.
Okay.
So Charlie Clarkson is trying to farm, and he's got a guy that knows all the legality and the history of farming. And whenever he wants to have a crazy idea, because I have many crazy ideas, like it's literally, I don't know who has the best face, my wife or my assistant. If I walk in the morning, it's like, I've been thinking, and then it's like, I'm like, you're going to power our house with those eye rolls. We must just get you plugged in the morning. We get free electricity. And to have ideas, to have plans, to have this wants and dreams and goals, you need a Charlie. You need somebody that understands you, understands the business, understands the current social, economic of your business, that can give you advice. You don't have to listen. But it opens new boxes and it takes you into new directions. You need somebody to spitball off, to throw ideas against, that can listen to you calmly. And then that doesn't, especially in new entrepreneurs, new businesses, I see it in the people I assist in building businesses. They're crushed so easily. Like, I want to buy a Catcher K7 to pressure wash. That's a dumb idea. Just get a Ryobi. It's cheaper. It will do the thing. It's like, oh, but I did all this research. I went through everything, and now they say it's stupid. That means all my other ideas are stupid. That means I'm making bad life decisions. That means I have to sell my car. I'm like, no. We're just talking about a pressure washer here.
Yeah.
That snowballing effect. You need somebody that you feel safe with to throw ideas against and see which ones stick. Never stop spitting out ideas.
Yeah.
Never stop dreaming. Don't dream stupid things. No, it's in the social media thing we spoke about so little every now and again. You have these, I'm sorry, idiots like Andrew Tate. And who's the guy that fought Tyson? The young...
Jake Paul?
Yes.
Yeah.
You have those guys that just spits out the McDonald's of social media. That has the Ferraris, and they have the girls, and they have the mansions.
Yeah.
And then you see the NFTs that Jake Paul launched where people lost millions. Coffeezilla did a great investigative journalism against Jake Paul on that NFTs he did. Where they have quick cash, quick money. There's no such thing as quick cash.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as quick success. Not for a normal person.
Yeah.
That's only for Instagram celebrities that has quick success and quick cash.
Yeah. Aye, it's not anything cash for longevity.
Have somebody, your father, your mother, your best friend, somebody in business in your area that has experience that you can spitball off, that you can have open conversations with. Like, listen, this is between us. Come with me. I'll buy you a beer. Let's talk. And listen to these people. Don't be me. Don't be the guy that knows it all.
Yeah.
I learned many very hard financial and life lessons. Listen to the guys around you. Keep the good. ChatGPT what they say and see if they agree.
Verify.
Trust but verify.
How we've spoke a wee bit about there a lot of AI. Has there been any what's the effect of AI had on your business? Like positive or negative? You know, because there's a lot of businesses where people are, let's be honest, they're being replaced, you know, through AI. You know, where does AI fit in your business?
In the marketing side, it's been helping us a lot. My chief designer, 3D designer, is actually sitting in North Mesopotamia, and then our main mechanical design is in the Ukraine. So both of them has been using AI a lot in generating better videos for us, better images for us, writing the scripts. Because I'll literally go to the marketing guys, go like, oh, you know, this device, and I want this in it, and, you know, then I want my normal blah, 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 and then in the end I want them to contact us. That's because they know me so well by now, and they'll use then the blah, blah, blah into their English, they'll run it through, because the ChatGPT has been set up to learn from the company, and it knows us now, and then spit out the marketing blurbs. For us. So that's sped it up a lot. In booking hotels and planes, and that's also been amazing. Recording conversations, recording meetings, and then writing summaries, summarizing emails. So it makes your life faster. It helps. It really, in that aspect, it's really been a great tool.
Yeah. It's funny you say that with the marketing, because I was thinking actually that recently that you know, there's a massive benefit in terms of marketing. I was just thinking about my background previous to being involved in property was in the motor trade and running car dealerships. And if you wanted, and again, that wasn't that long ago, we're talking only a couple of years ago, you know, so it just shows you the rate of evolving of technology. But up to even a couple of years ago, if you said you wanted to run a new marketing campaign, somebody from the marketing department would have came out, They would have sat with you. They would have took your vision and wrote it down. They would have then went back to the graphic designer. The graphic designer would have came out and think how long it would have taken them to design, whatever strategy that you were looking for. You'd have then had to sit and approve it. It was weeks long process. A process that phone now can do in literally minutes. Absolute minutes. And costs zero compared to all of the salaries over a cumulative amount of weeks just to do something that was actually a very, very basic task.
Yeah, I feel sorry for those people. I feel sorry for that whole industries. They'll have to adapt or die.
Yeah.
That's life.
Yeah.
I saw a thing what you said now about the Range Rovers in front of people's houses. How do you know somebody will fall into the obscurity of mediocrity throughout their whole life? How do you know? By driving past the residential neighborhood.
I don't know, see what cars on the driveway.
See a medium family income home with fancy German or Range Rover standing in front of it. They'll be trapped in that cycle forever.
Yeah.
Don't fall in that trap.
Yeah. And I think to add to the proof of that, it's funny because I went a drive with my partner a few weeks ago, and we passed a housing estate. I'll not say where it is. It's a very private residential estate, big houses. And it's funny because when we drove out, there's must be about 20 or 30 houses in this big estate. And I said, the one thing that I noticed there, right? I only seen one Bentley on the drive, right? And that was an older one. Every other car, right, was just like an old Fiesta or just normal, whatever you want to call it, cars. And these are huge, big, multi-million pound houses. Yeah, because back to what I said earlier, they're not caring.
They don't care.
They're not caring. They're not nothing to prove to anybody. Whereas you're right, you go to the medium residential houses, there's cars that are more expensive on the driveway than the house.
Yes. Want some valuable advice?
Go for it.
When your ass is itching, never scratch it with a new car key.
I wish I took that advice on when it was you were talking to Alan 10 years ago, because that was me. With the cars, right? Back then, 10 years ago, paying £500-600 a month for a car when my income was only that times a couple.
I wanted a pickup since I was like 10 years old, like a double cab pickup. And then I was working about 40 kilometers away from my home in heavy traffic in South Africa. And so I sold my car and I bought a delivery motorcycle, a 125 Honda. Yeah. 2 of them. Yeah. And there was a train. So I took the one bike to the train, then I took the train to the office, and then the other bike was standing by the train station. I took to the... so it took 5 years to save up to buy my pickup.
Wow.
So at least when I bought it, I could pay it up front.
Yeah.
But 5 years in saving fuel in rain, winter, summer, driving stupid 125s. Yeah. And then the same day, it's like, I want to give these two bikes as a deposit on the car. Here's the rest of the money. I never want to see little motorcycles again. Give him my pickup.
Mate. And the thing is, I bet you when you were driving out the showroom in that pickup, I bet you it just felt so good that you've worked your backside off to achieve it when you could have got it 5 years ago and just had a monthly payment on it. And
I kept it. We immigrated from South Africa to Portugal in 2020, and I kept the pickup for another year standing in South Africa. It took me a year to sell it. Not to find somebody to buy it. I sold it in a day. The first day I put it on the market, it was sold. Just to get it over my heart, to let it go.
Yeah, you've got that emotional attachment to it.
Super bad. I was like, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah. It definitely does. Everything becomes, when you've, you said everything's a sacrifice earlier on, when you do take that real bit of pain and go back the way, then, which does take a lot to do. And I think that's why a lot of people don't really follow what they really want to do, because they've got that like ego and the pride thing, especially if you're in a job. Let's say you're in a job like and I know lots of them, right? Through my previous job, there's a lot of people who are maybe like at a director level and they're on maybe like a couple £100,000 a year, okay, and they've got a nice house and a nice car, because the world, their family, their friends, their neighbours sees them on some kind of like financial pedestal, right? They don't want to take the haircut to go back the way in order to really, really excel. And it's back to what you said with the big car and the medium sized house. They're trapped in that thing. Whereas see if they just drop the ego, and who cares if the neighbours. I'll tell you a story actually. My mum's neighbour a couple of years ago had this like really nice BMW, and then anyway get rid of it, right? And I was just driving this old beat up Astra, and the neighbour actually said to Mum, "Is Alan okay?" She went, "Ah, yeah, he's fine." How? What do you mean? He went, "Oh, like, has he lost his job or something?" He went, "No, how?" He went, "Because why is he driving that old car then?" Right? Driving the old car was saving me £600 a month, and where my head was at previously, I don't know. But you need to take that. People are maybe that embarrassment of like, oh, people want to think. Who cares what anybody thinks about you? Really, who cares?
My wife says that to me often. It's like, I don't envy you at all. But the one thing I do envy about you is that you don't give a shit. I'm like, yeah, why should I? I care. I don't
Yeah.
give a shit. I
Yeah.
care about people. I care
Yeah.
about the people around me.
Mm-hmm.
But what people think of me, I don't care. Like,
Mhm.
if you don't accept me for who I am, what I drive, what I say, trying to be a good person, trying to be nice,
Mm-hmm.
leave.
Yeah.
Nobody's forcing you to be in my presence.
Yeah.
Leave.
Yeah.
We live in a outside of Lisbon, about 30 minutes outside, and we didn't know when we bought there. My house is on the wrong side of the railway tracks, but on the other side of the railway tracks, there's very, very nice villas. You know, you're in the 12 bedroom,
Yeah.
13 bathroom.
Yeah.
Many of them, 100 or 200 of these villas are spread out in the countryside. So our town is a bit, what do you call the people? Uh, well off.
Okay.
Well off in cars and houses, people. I'm not always so sure if they well off.
Okay.
And I drive a Tiggen, a Volkswagen
Yeah.
Tiggen.
Yeah.
Nice one. It's a R line.
Mm-hmm.
But I had all the badges removed, so you can't see what's the model. And it was a big thing in town for a long time, when it's like, he lives in that house in this neighborhood, and he drives a Tiggen. Is he a drug dealer? Like, are they fake rich? Are they fake this? Are this? And many people came to us, like, it was a talk of, the town is only 800 people
Right.
in town, where they talked about, like, why does he have that? Why doesn't he drive a Porsche? It was for a long time, people were suspicious.
Where I think a lot of people, you're strong enough to stand the ground, where a lot of people would have maybe, how do I put it, not been so strong they would have just went and bought the Porsche because they're caring what the 800 people in
Exactly.
the town are talking about, instead of being
Exactly.
strong enough to say, I'll live my life on my terms, drive what I want, stay in whatever house I want, not because you're dictating to me that this is what I should be
That
doing.
falls through everything in life. You don't need an iPhone 15 Pro Max to start your business. You don't need a MacBook Air or MacBook Pro. You don't need a iPad Pro to start your business. You don't need a new van. You don't need a new car. You don't need these things. You don't need to wear Hugo Boss when you go to meetings in the beginning.
Yeah.
Buy a nice Mark and Spencer shirt. Just look nice. Keep it just for meetings.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's the same. People buy from you. Yes, have the image. Your car has to be clean. Your car has to be clean and well maintained. Your equipment has to be clean and well maintained. Because if your front end is dirty, people assume your back end is dirty.
Yeah.
No pun intended. But it's true. If you walk into a restaurant with dirty salt and pepper shakers, you assume the food's dirty.
Yeah.
If the restaurant's bathroom is dirty, you have a 60% less chance to go back there. 60%.
Yeah.
Keep your front facing clean. Keep it well maintained. What happens in the back end to make the magic happen That's up to you.
Mm.
But your image, your presentation, how you speak to guys, stand up straight. Look them in the eyes. Answer their calls. When you are small and begging and wanting to be invited into the wallets, you have no time. I'm not talking about not having personal care. I'm not saying don't take a bubble bath or go sit by a park or drink a whiskey, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah.
Have the personal care, but your time is not yours when you start. Your equipment and who you are and how you present yourself to the outside world is important. Have a clean shirt on. Make sure your shoes are clean. Because this first impression image, say thank you and please. Say sir and madam. You are nothing. You've not been invited in.
I think that's some great advice, especially to anybody who wants to get into business. Then it is all of the really simple disciplines that do make all the difference. As you said, you can turn up with the fanciest, MacBook Pro, or I'm not an Apple. I don't actually know. I'm not an Apple guy.
I just
by
know
the way,
it's
but whatever
expensive.
it is,
That's why you're saying
exactly. I'm an Android guy, but I trust that that's the best Apple device. But yeah, you're right. There's a lot of people too busy focusing in that. It's funny you say, earlier on about the, I heard something recently and it said, see if you start a business, you should think like a drug dealer, right? And I looked at this and I got my eye, I went, what? Right? And it said, because see when the first thing that a drug dealer does, the only thing they're interested in is putting money in the till, right? They're not going, I'm going to go and buy the fanciest iPhone, right? I'm going to hire the most expensive CEO. I'm going to recruit they're just thinking, with short-term vision, right? What do I need to do to put money in the till today?
Exactly.
Right? And that's it.
Know your worth. Know your worth. Do your research to find out what's your worth. I can say whatever I like. It doesn't mean it's true. Know your worth. Calculate your costings. Use the tools available to you to note what to charge. Go there. And people forget the power of saying thank you and hello. And how are you? And don't ask people, oh, can you afford me because you're driving an Astra now and not a Beamer anymore. Trust. Don't be stupid. Take a deposit. Make sure you get paid. Work with your client. Nothing is black and white. There's no magic bullet. You have to feel the situation. You have to feel the people. And then you have to go with your gut. And if your gut is wrong all the time, you're in the wrong profession.
Yeah.
Change.
I think the gut's very important, because I think, again, like you just said, it's only my opinion. It's not any fact-based at all. But I think we're in a world where, again, with AI and data, there's so much data for data, right? Where I think data only takes you so far. Yes, you can use a lot of data to structure your opinion. But that last part you said about the gut of making a decision, that's the bit, in my opinion, that should be making the decision. There's a lot of people relying on the data and then wonder why something goes wrong. Or because the data told us this. That's only going to take you so far.
Exactly.
Everything else is what you just said, the please, the thank yous, the gut.
This is what we spoke about in gathering data, analyzing data, creating your analytics based on your data into real world wisdom, and projecting out in the world what you got in. What we said just now a while ago. It's so important to be able to use this data. And this comes with experience. And then people say, where do I find experience? And I ask, where did you start? They're like, we don't know where to start. I'm like, then you don't know what you want. Ask that. It's an interesting thing, right? I do this with many people now. What do you want? I'm asking you now, what do you want?
I want to create a life for my children that means that they almost don't need to worry, that they're financially secure. They don't need to go through struggles that I've went through, my family has went through as children. And I think that's the main reason for that, is because the world is becoming, in my opinion, almost an unsafe place. I don't like to think of where you know, my children could end up in certain situations. So if I can provide a safe environment, now money only gets you so far, but if I can use that to create an environment for my children that gives them the best possible upbringing, not just education, but having what we spoke about before with your wife, that I'm there around the table, having the very, very simple things as a family unit. If I can provide them and can see they can have peace in their life, then ultimately that's my goal. When I was younger as a child, my dad has his own business. Right, he's got a successful business, but I never had the what I would say the basics are. He was always working, so he wasn't at home at night, sitting around the dining room table, having the simple conversations of how was your day. So for me, if I can install that behaviours in my children, which makes them polite, well mannered, the please, the thank yous, everything you've just spoke about, when then they grow up, then that should put them in a better stead to do whatever they want in their life if they've got the key fundamentals installed into them.
Excellent answer to show that you're a good guy and you want to create a future generation that has not an easier life, a more understanding of life than you did. But what do you want for yourself?
For
What do
me,
you want?
For me, you want the honest answer?
Yes.
For me, I want peace, right? See if I can create that life, in turn it creates it for them. But if I create a life of peace, then I'll not go into it on here, right? But I've got reasons as to why that personal things that have happened in the past. But for me, what I want is going back to almost the dining room table scenario, right? Is a peaceful life with my partner, financially secure, that we can go on a journey together and explore everything.
But excellent answer. You know, few people can answer that question. And peace is such a beautiful answer as well. Because many people, you ask them what do they want, they say happiness. But if you say happiness, what's the counterbalance of happiness? It's sadness and unhappiness. You can't have happiness without unhappiness. Everything in life has got a sacrifice.
Yeah.
So if you say peace, that means you're found the balance between happiness and unhappiness.
Yeah.
So the right answer to life is, I want peace, not happiness.
Yeah.
Great answer.
Thank you. Took me a long time to get there, right enough to know that's what you want, because I don't know if you found this, but I found for probably up to about a year ago that I was on, we're in a world just now, right, where there's so much self-development at your fingertips. There's so much guys that you can listen to that are very motivational. What's that?
So much data.
Yeah, so exactly. I love how you summarise that in the data, right? So there's so much of that at your fingertips, but then you then need to say, where'd the asshole into that? So you can start to listen to these people and go, that is what I want, but then you realise, well, they're a different person, that's not me. We're all brought up in different areas, different circumstances, different relationships, different financial positions. So you need to take all that and then go, what do I actually want? Because for quite a long while, personally, I knew I wanted something better than what I had, but what that was, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, and you're going through that windy journey.
There's a the thing people forget is accept your vices. Right? We all have vices.
Yes.
Accept them within limits. Everything has limits, right? There's no limits.
Yeah.
Except brandy. Brandy doesn't have limits. It's a South African joke.
Oh, right, okay. I've maybe interpreted that the wrong way then.
No, it's a South African joke. In Afrikaans, we say brandewyn het nie brieke nie. It means brandy doesn't have brakes.
Right,
like
okay.
as soon as you start drinking brandy, there's no braking.
Yeah.
And then understand what's your vices, right? Understand what's the things that's in a public society, in a public viewpoint, bad. Accept them. Make peace with them. Don't try, you can work on them. Don't try to hide them. Don't try to suppress them. And then build from there. Because it's much easier to build from bad to good than to be good and going back to bad.
Yeah.
Now I'm a good guy, I look after my family, I sit on the dinner table, I provide for them, I work well, but I also like to get blackout drunk on a Sunday.
And that's okay.
Well, I'm not saying that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's very easy to see the good in my life, what to do, but you don't accept
Yeah.
your vice.
Yeah.
So your vice, of course, you have to work on it. Like, let's have 2 drinks on a Sunday
Yeah.
or space it out over a week.
Yeah.
It's much better to first identify and target your vices. Target the things that all of us has got dark secrets that we don't speak about, or that we keep for ourselves, or that we feel ashamed of, or that we like to suppress.
Yeah, suppress, yeah.
First target those. First work through them. First accept them. See what you want to improve. See what you want to change. And then build the good. It's the same as building a company. You don't start off with the social media driving the Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
You start in the running. And in your personal life, you have to do that as well. I'm working on it, a massive workaholic. And it took me a long time to accept that I am a workaholic, and then what sacrifices I'm making, unknowingly making, to be one.
Yeah.
And to make peace with it, that I don't always have to work. I cannot switch off. I cannot sit. It drives my wife crazy. As I sit, I'm like, even my assistant, we were walking past, we have some horses. We were walking past the horses, the stables, and we walked past and I was looking at it. And she's like, stop looking. I'm like, why, what? She's like, you're seeing things to fix. I'm like, yeah. She's like, just leave it. Forget about it.
Yeah.
Walk away.
Yeah. But if your brain wasn't wired like that, then you wouldn't be where you are just now.
No, for sure. I'm on the spectrum of being a smidge autistics in the blue lines. And it's because I'm a horrible overthinker. I know this. I'm a horrible emotional attachment. Anxious attachment. I have anxious attachment to my work. I have anxious attachment to the people in my life. And then I overthink about it.
Yeah.
And I sit and my brain spins and thinks and spits out probabilities, and it spits out futures. And I go through the probability of what future is going to happen. And I work through every probability, and I bring in data points from 100 different sources, and then I generate the future. And then I'll tell them what's going to happen. And they're like, it's no fun. It's no fun knowing what's going to happen. And I'm like, it's a curse.
Yeah. Well, on that note then, I was going to ask you, where is the future of Biorugged? Where's the direction of travel?
Vertical integration into clocks that looks very similar to us. So we've built our clock, and our clock is ticking, and it's doing very well. But no business is future-proof. If you look through what they're currently doing, from surgery to nursing to care to food generation to flipping burgers, we are automating the shit out of everything. And we are reducing the cost, we're reducing the labor force, we're reducing all human interaction in products. So there's two things is where AI is going to become so perfect in doing things, we as humans will not want it anymore. We don't want perfection. A human cannot handle perfection. We always have to see the yin and the yang in everything. And if you have everything is perfect marketing, you will want the flying salesman again that flies to you, and you build a relationship with him and you talk to him. So in our company, the clock has been built in the manufacturing side and in the product side. Yes, R&D continually happen. So now we are actually flying next week, or this week and next week, to speak to potential new partners and to vertically integrate into their businesses, where we can create an independent conglomerate, where every aspect of the ecosystem of biometrics and customer data is controlled independently, but we work together as a bigger hammer.
Okay.
So the future is definitely not on expansion. It's not for more people. It's not for more AI-generated content. It's to have more asses and seats. Asses and seats in the planes, asses and seats in front of people. to continue having the human touch. Because if something goes wrong, try telling an AI they're doing something wrong, you want to speak to a human, or the content they're generating is not correct.
Yeah.
Or I'm unhappy with this. They're like, oh, I'm so sorry, and I understand your feelings. I'm like, no, you don't. So to have this and to have a bigger hammer to hit bigger nails with.
Yeah.
And to do this, we have to vertically integrate into the ecosystem. Nobody can do everything.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one-man band in a global business. So that's the future where we can have a on paper partnership with people, not a handshake partnership.
Yeah. I think that's good, and I think that's reassuring for people to hear as well. In a world that you say we are hearing about AI replacement. So I think that's good for people to hear that there is businesses that's still the strategy, and you're saying that is a must.
Yeah, as we see a handshake as much more of a contract than a paper.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't break a handshake. A paper you can fight in court.
Mm-hmm.
And this has been the motto of one of our mottos in the company. And to do a handshake, you have to see the guy.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Well, listen, Hoff, I think that's a great way to end. I've certainly learned a lot from you. The conversations took a lot of different spins that I didn't think we were going to go down, but I've certainly learned a lot. I think the listeners will learned a lot, and I know you're a busy man, so I really, really do appreciate the time you've given up to spend with us today.
No,
so
anytime.
Thank you very much, my friend.